Okay, so Brooklyn, go. Okay, so,
My name is Loida Nicholas Lewis, but everybody knows me as Loida Lewis. Reginald Lewis and I met on a blind date, and even then I knew he was different.
Reginald F. Lewis is a very interesting character in the history of African Americans here in Maryland.
Born here in Baltimore, raised by a single mother, studied in Catholic school, Dunbar High School, Virginia State, and then was able to get to Harvard Law School as the first student who was accepted without even applying for law school.
A awe-inspiring influence that we had an opportunity to portray his story in a comprehensive exhibit for the world to experience.
Reginald Lewis was my dad. He was and is my inspiration.
Ambitious, dead set to prove everybody wrong.
But he represents greatness as the very first African American to do $1 billion deal on Wall Street.
A man of empowerment, a man who, against all odds, continued to move forward and went for what he wanted.
And he's an inspiration to the world.
And most of all, he loved his people.
When people come to this exhibit, I hope that they will be wowed, first of all, by all of the information that we have here for them to see and to learn about who this man was.
It really chronicles his whole life and career, which was so diverse.
So I want them to see how this fellow Baltimorean was able to reach to the very height of corporate America and was the first man, black or white, to buy an overseas company.
We want people to have a greater appreciation of his legacy and his impact. We want people to understand the way that he changed the corporate space.
And I hope people also just see how relatable he was.
Mr. Lewis is just like us, a man who had a dream and went for it.
And I think when you look at that, it shows that these things are, of course, really hard to do, but it also gives you a path a bit to how it's done.
You'll take away determination. You'll take away big dreams. And you'll take away, most of all, being able to handle failures and rising up against them.
But there was a lot of persistence behind that, and frankly, he wouldn't have been able to be persistent and he wouldn't have been successful had he not had some tenacity.
We'd like for people to get a chance to get to know him in a more in-depth way.
But he worked very hard for what he desired and got it. But once he did, he was very responsible with it, and he made sure that he cared for not only his businesses, but his community.
We want them to understand his discipline, his self-control, and his determination to achieve in America.
With Dad, there's a big focus on how he made his money. I focus a lot on how he helped people and his legacy and his impact.
My favorite part of the Titan exhibit is probably his college years. It feels like this is someone that I can relate to, and it, to me, humanizes him.
For every wall that highlights Mr. Lewis's life, you get to interact, touch, feel, and experience him in a full three-dimensional way.
I think it's important for people to get an understanding of how Reginald F. Lewis changed and broke barriers in the corporate world. As a young child, he talked about the fact that white men have all the fun, and he basically questioned the inequities that existed at the time. But he further becomes such a success that he, in fact, breaks those barriers.
Well, I must say I teared up. I teared up when I saw the pictures of him as a family man, daddy's girls. So it's a little hard that he passed away 30 years ago, and he's still very much alive in my heart.
I think what we have done here is put together an exhibit that really goes deep and tells you a little bit more than you'll find anywhere else.
He gave a speech with a graduating class.
So if there's one message that I would like to leave,
He ended it by saying,
that you keep going
Keep going,
Keep going.
Keep going,
no matter what.
Keep going no matter what.
no matter what.
no matter what.
No matter what.
Thank you very much, ladies.
keep going, no matter what.